Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this exciting webinar on Google Maps platform. My name is Nancy, and I'm delighted to be your host. Before we dive into our session, let me give you a quick overview of what we will cover today, exploring real-world examples of successful Google Maps platform implementations, uncovering hidden opportunities for efficiency gains and cost savings, understanding the latest features and updates of the Google Maps platform. I also want to let you know all that we will have two Q&A sessions during this webinar. First Q&A session will be in the middle where you can type your questions into the chat box and we will address them. The second Q&A will be at the end of the webinar, giving you another opportunity to ask the remaining questions. Moving forward, I am thrilled to introduce our speaker, Manish Gupta. Manish manages our Google Maps business in Lepton. With his extensive and in-depth knowledge, Manish will guide us through today's topics and share valuable insights on leveraging the Google Maps platform for your business. Manish, welcome to this webinar. We are excited to have you with us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Nancy, for the introduction, and thank you so much for everyone for joining in. My name is Manish Gupta. I head the Google Map business for Lepton Software, and I've been associated with Lepton for almost 3 years now. I'm very excited for this session. So let's jump in. Agenda, I think Nancy has already given you a little brief about it. Today we'll be talking about what is Google Maps, why we recommend Google Maps, a little overview about it, what are the new updates which has come in, a quick Q&A session, and then we will jump into the real life stories of customers, how they have implemented, what they got out of it. And then again, why you should, be on a partner for Google Maps services. And again, Q&A session at the right at the end again. So before we jump into, more about Google Maps, I would like to give you a little overview about what Lepton Software does. We are the premier partner for Google Maps services. We are into this domain. We are a location intelligence analytics leader right into this domain for last 30 years, long before even Google has actually came into India. We've been making maps for almost 25 countries now. We are a total workforce of almost 450 now, which includes development team, GIS team, sales, and others as well. About Lepton, quickly I'll take you through about our products and services as well. Lepton itself, they also have Enterprise Maps API. We've been creating a lot of data since we are into this domain. We also have a platform where you can visualize your data, do a lot of analytics on top of it. We do a lot of bespoke solutions such as, store locator or maybe, fraud KYC documents, etc. And then we are very big on the telecom space as well, where we actually help telecom networks to plan their fiber network. And it actually manages their entire life cycle, starting from onboarding to a client to actually, accessing a new connection and laying down a new fiber network. Also, 90% of the 5G rollout which has done in India has rolled out on our data set, which is 3D model of height and width of the buildings in India. Okay, so let's jump into the Google Maps services. As I said, that we have been a premier partner for Google Maps services in India for almost 12 years now. We are the largest and the oldest partner with which Google has. We are the only partner in India who has access to resell Google Earth Engine as well as the mobility solutions such as on-demand rides and delivery solution and last mile fleet solution. And TBT is turn by turns. You probably would have seen in two-wheelers where you can actually navigate from one point to another point from the screen itself. Just to showcase some of our logos, we are right into every industry. Telecom is big for us. As I said, mobility has a lot of use cases around Google Maps services, BFSI, food delivery, and travel and real estate. Now, quickly understand why are we saying that why you should go with Google Maps. So Google has been mapping the world since 2005, It delivers most accurate real-time model of the world and a familiar map loved by billions, and add enterprise-grade solution, security, and support. Those geospatial intelligence tell you more than just where the customers live and work. This is thanks to the combination widespread mobile use, big data, and IoT. Business can add layers of data such as demographics, traffic, distance, etc. to drive insights on their customers and internal business operation. Google Maps, if you can see, there are roughly around 50 million updates which happen daily basis and 1 billion monthly location updates. Now, Google Maps has Places API. Places API and Google Maps platform includes rich data on location, names, addresses, ratings, reviews, etc., helping your customers to explore the world around them. Now, Google Maps has a global coverage. So let's say if you have picked up a license in India and tomorrow you want to expand in some other countries, Google Maps is actually built with reliable, comprehensive data for almost 220 countries. That's actually a coverage of over 100 million square kilometers of land. And it is scalable performance. Google Maps is built on Google's infrastructure itself. So you can scale from prototype to production to planet scale without having to think about the capacity, reliability, or performance. Now, how Google Maps has, Google has different brackets within itself. So Google Maps has core APIs. They also have mobility solution, which we spoke about. And then there is a turn-by-turn navigation as well. So first, we'll deep dive into the Google Maps platform. These are the core APIs, which are further segmented into 4 different subcategories. Maps brings the real world to your customers with customized maps with capability to zoom in and zoom out. Then there are routes. Routes help customers to find the best way to get from A to Z with a comprehensive data in a real-time traffic, which nobody else offers. Then there are places. Places helps customers to discover the world with rich location for roughly 200 million places and enables them to find specific place using phone numbers, name, address, etc. And there is a new API which they have recently launched, which is called Air Quality. Now, Air Quality provides quality data and insight that helps people to reduce their exposure to the pollution. Now, these 4 subcategories are further subcategorized into over 30 APIs and SDK, and some of which are listed here. Maps, as I said, Maps has a dynamic maps API, which actually lets you zoom in, zoom out. It also has static maps API, which only gives you a screenshot of a map. Street View, I'm sure most of you would have already experienced it on the consumer platform, where you can drag the little man, which is there, icon, which is there, and you can actually see the street view of any particular place. Then there is aerial view as well. This is mostly primarily used by the real estate company to showcase their properties from the aerial view. Routes API direction, as I said, direction is actually pulled out to understand that from A to Z, which is the route through road network, what is the best optimal way to reach. Distance is what is the distance between A to B. Roads API is to actually understand various tolls or speed limits which are available on the road. Routes API recently has been launched through Google. We will talk about it more in the upcoming slide. Places and environment we have already spoken about. Will not take much of the time here. Now, Street View will just concentrate on few of the APIs which recently has been launched by Google Maps API. Street View has recently been launched, as you all know. Now they are covering almost more than 700 cities where Street View is available. A few examples I can think on top of my head. If any of you would have used Uber recently, Uber has implemented Street View API. You can actually check the real live location of the driver where he's standing and understand that which side of the road he's standing. So that actually gives you a little concept around it. I also remember a lot of conversation happening that, when driver calling and asking you, "Bhaiya, kahan khade ho?" So instead of avoiding those conversation, you can just quickly go and see on the Street View API, which they have given, a little icon they have given. If you can click on it, it will give you where your driver is, or even the driver can see where my client is based on your location. Address descriptors again. If what Google, this address descriptor has recently been launched only for India. It is an additional feature of a geocoding API. So there is an API where if you have captured a lat long of a client and you want to convert into address, or if you want to convert the address into a lat long, there is an additional feature which actually lets you pick the nearby landmark as well. Now in India, if you know that addresses are very ambiguous, it's very hard to find any addresses through the string. So what it actually does is that especially for the logistic companies, the drivers can actually find the nearby landmark first and then look for the customer's address. Air quality we have spoken about. So in India currently there is only air quality API which is available. There are other further subdivision pollutant and solar API is also there, which is not available. It's only air quality API which is there. So there are a few APIs as we discussed. There are a new routes API which has been launched. What it has? It has more information about toll charges. It also gives you to access a two-wheeler routing. So till now, if you have to look for a direction from A to B or find a distance between A to B, it has always been a four-wheeler driving. But now what Google has done through an API, you can actually fetch a two-wheeler routing. It actually gives a control to the customer where he can understand and define what all response they want to have. Initially in a direction or a distance API, as I said, whatever the response Google had defined, you input all the responses you will get. But here the customers get more control over an API through which they can define if there are only certain responses they want and they want to neglect the rest of them. That is also possible. Now what it leads to, it actually leads to a lower latency. That means you get faster responses. The billing and the processing time has been reduced as well. Then a new places API has been launched as well. Now, what is different between the existing and the new one? It has a flexible pricing. More categories has been added as well. Richer attributes it has. So it also gives you if it is accessible or not. And then it has intelligent search. That means that if you are based out of Delhi and looking for a place around you, it will actually prompt you most relevant places around you instead of giving it of some other city or some other countries. So before we jump into the customer success stories, I would love to know if you have any questions.
If you have any questions, please type into the chat box and we will address as many as we can.
And see, is there a way if somebody can raise their hand and we can unmute them?
Yeah, sure.
I think there is one.
Yeah. Yes, Pastor.
Just wanted, is there any possibility to get the airport data, particularly at the air side? Because we are building some solution. We just wanted to know there are a lot of reservation to share such data. That's what they are telling. As long as we have the airport concern, can we use that Google update? That's all I wanted. That map.
Bhaskar, so if you can explain a little more about your query, what I have understood till now is that you're looking to get the airports marked on the map. Eh, Is that what it is?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Like for
So,
example, what we are doing actually, the employee geolocation is marked. So as soon as he is in the geolocation, his attendance will be.
so yeah,
For that
Bhaskar, it
purpose,
is
I want the boundary. I want the boundary.
polygon. Correct. So yeah, Bhaskar, it is very much possible. Google itself provides certain boundaries. There is another API which they have recently launched, which is called address validation. Now, what it does is that address selection, sorry, what it does is that it actually gives you polygons of these POIs. So yeah,
Okay.
the use case which you're talking about that you want to assign if your employee is traveling to the airport, you want to know if they have arrived or not. Yes, you can build that solution on top of it based on the polygon which is defined by the already. And all the airports, trust me, all the airports in the world, they have already marked it on the map.
All right, all right. To whom I should keep in touch with
We
with this?
will share our details at the end of this session. You please
Okay.
you can reach out to us and we can help you build the solution.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jitesh, can we have your question, please?
Jitesh, we can't hear you if you're talking. Nancy, can we go to Pawan and come back to Jitesh again?
Yeah, sure. Pawan, can you hear us? Could you please tell us what question you have?
Okay, there are a few questions, Nancy, I think in the chat box. We'll quickly pick them up one by one.
I think Pawan
Yes. I think now
asked us.
sometime mute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The question what I have is that I'm looking for a capability where I can go and see any deforestation on, especially I'm looking for Nordic countries where if there is any designated areas that are called as a forest area and any deforestation that happened. So any feasibility with Google data set where I can go back in history and see and then compare with the data of today, let's say with something 3 months or a quarter ago.
Yes, certainly. So that is actually an offering of Google Earth Engine, not for the Google Maps
Maps.
platform.
Okay.
So it is very much possible on the Google Earth Engine. Unfortunately, we will not be talking much about Google Earth Engine today, but happy to connect with you at a different time, one-to-one, and take it forward. So while we're talking what Google Earth Engine is, it is actually an analytics platform where there is a lot of data sets which Google has published openly. And there are a lot of satellite imagery, historical satellite imagery as well. So basis on that, you can do a lot of computation and understand.
That's open data you're saying as of now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll catch up offline probably with you on that. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Okay, the second question is from Mohan. Can maps provide weather information?
So weather information, yes, maps can provide, not at this moment. They are still working on it. We are hoping that in Q3, by Q3, they will launch the weather API as well. So please keep tuned. We will send you the information. But unfortunately, not for now. The only API in environmental is air quality. Other than that, rest are yet to be released in India.
Now the question is from Sunil. Is it possible to fill loan applications with office address?
Yes, it is. So we will talk about it. Sunil will talk about it more in the upcoming, customer success stories. So there, what Google also helps us to onboard a client, which is very easy for them. So we have seen there are a lot of dropouts which happen while signing on the client. So we will tell you how to go about it. There is an API called autocomplete where you only, when you start typing the first three digits of any place, it will auto prompt you certain results, and based on that you can pick the topmost and go ahead. And we will tell you, like we'll take you through on those how these APIs are implemented through different organizations.
Okay, thank you. Now the last question is from Jitesh. Need help for listing of 1,000+ branches on GMB.
Yes. So Jitesh, again, this is another product which is called GMP, not the Google Maps platform, but we have an in-house solution built on it where we are actually helping not just banks or banks, but a lot of retails as well to list their ATMs or branches or retail shops on Google Maps, Google My Business. And from there, you can actually manage your reviews, you can manage your photos from one platform, and it is actually not connected just to Google Maps. It is also connected to, let's say, LinkedIn, Instagram or Facebook and many other social media platforms as well. So we can help you there as well.
Okay, thank you, Manish, for all the questions. You can continue with the session.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. So now we'll quickly jump into the real life customer stories. Now, these customers are well known to you when we go through to them. Now, here, what we will discuss is we will discuss that what were their business challenges, how Google Maps APIs has actually helped them, and what are the results after that. So the first I would like to talk about Lenskart. When they at their initial stage, they had a lot of business challenges around managing the in-store pickup, failed to showcase the nearby stores as well, and which actually resulted in lost sale and decreased customer loyalty. The solution what we had given on top of the Google platform is to build a store locator with Google Maps APIs. If you can see on the small video which is running, so they have on the right hand side they have a dynamic maps API. It's a map API where I said that you can zoom in, zoom out. They have overlaid their own data, which is their store locator, data. Now, how this entire solution works is that the moment I come onto their page, either from the mobile or from the laptop, it automatically picks my lat long. And through a lat long, it actually it calls a distance API and call all those stores which are nearby to me. What is it? Which is like if I can define that if I want to showcase only 10 kilometers stores which are 10 kilometers away from my location. So there a distance API has been utilized. At the background where you see the map view, it is a dynamic maps API. And on the top as well, if you see, they have implemented autocomplete. This is what I was talking about. Autocomplete, what it does is the moment you type in the first three digits, it will start, auto suggesting you multiple suggestions in a drop-down box, if you can see it now. And then wherever you want to choose from, you can choose it, and then it automatically picks up the location of that place and starts suggesting. Now, what it actually resulted in, and it resulted in convenience for the customers, given them value and also the availability of the stores where they are. Now, the same solution can be offered, to other industries, which are retail, dining, healthcare, financial, and telecom as well. Second case study I want to talk about is for Zomato. Zomato, you probably would have seen when they launched how their application was to what it is now. There has been a great transition. So during this transition, they had various challenges. One was that there was inaccuracy in the ETA because of the two-wheeler fleet, and all Google was giving at that moment was a four-wheeler response, and they had to do some extrapolation on the responses to give accurate ETA to the client for the delivery. They also found out that the form they had given to the customers to fill to give the addresses that was long, and customers didn't want to fill the entire each string. So they found that there were a lot of dropouts while signing in and checkout. And even when people are filling the forms manually, there were a lot of spelling mistakes, and led to inaccurate addresses. What Google Maps was able to solve for them, they were able to create an easy check-in and check-out process. And I'm sure everybody who are there in the audience would have used Zomato and would agree with me that they have the easiest check-in and check-out. If you have to give a new address or sign in for a new address for a new delivery, I think they have the easiest way to give the address. So here, if you see, they have actually given a platform where you can drag and drop your PIN. The moment you drop your PIN, it will automatically converts the lat long into the address, auto fill certain fields, and only lets you add the building number or the floor number. Rest is everything is already pre-filled. And the API which are implemented here are autocomplete API to, again, if you, let's say if I in building number 9 in Cyber City, the moment I write building 9 cyber, it will automatically pick up the address. It actually helps for me not to fill in the entire address again. Dynamic maps at the background to show a map layer, geocoding convert the lat long into the address. And then Routes API, as I said, that recently Google has implemented the Routes API to ensure that the response of the distance comes on a two-wheeler routing, which actually gives a better accuracy to give the ETA to the customers. And what it led is it actually led to 64% average decrease in checkout length and 20% saving and error reduction. And again, the same solution can be easily implemented in different industries as well. One is routing and logistics, travel, local rides and deliveries, retail and dining, and again, financial services. Routing and logistics, it is very important because you have to, again, input your addresses to get the delivery done. So this is one of the very most important solution which every logistic company has to implement. Now, the third use case I want to discuss is no broker. Again, the no broker, when they launched, they wanted to be very different than every other, online real estate company there have been in the industry. They wanted to be very different. They had very unique, challenges which they wanted to solve. So one of them was that they want to showcase all the properties on the map, right? For the customers to understand where they are, what area they are looking at, what locality they are looking at. They can drag, drop the map as well. If they don't find anything, where in the locality where they're looking at, they probably would find something in the neighborhood, but it is only possible if you have a map view. They also wanted to give a little context on each property. When I say context, that means that, what kind of ATMs which are available nearby. If there are any schools or hospitals or pharmacies, are they available nearby? And which actually leads to a improved customer experience as well on their application. So the solution, what we actually had suggested, which they should have built on the Google Maps API, is to provide local information. A little, again, small screen we have recorded for you. I hope it is visible for everyone. So if you can see, what they have done is they have a map view within their website. If you click on it, you will see all the properties which are listed on the map for the locality you are searching for. And when you go to each locality, any property, then you get more information around it. It gives you details like what are the metro stations around it, hospitals, any other amenities around it, using the Google Maps Places API. And it actually also it actually gives a certain score basis the transportation which is available nearby. And I don't think any of such capabilities are available in any other real estate platform at this moment. But yeah, they were able to build a lot of it around it. And I think it actually helps for any customers looking for a property, helps them find it easy And the APIs which they have implemented are autocomplete again, dynamic maps for visualization, places API to show local amenities which are nearby, or even the transit which is available. And then routes API to actually calculate. So if you can also see if I have selected any property and I want to see how far is the ATM from there, I can actually see the direction as well from there. And what it led to is 4% increase in the completed maps-based home searches, and 50% helps in increase overall booking. Where all it can be, the same solution can be implemented as in travel. Real estate travel is where you can actually see where you want to travel. So, companies who are into the similar industry are Map My India, Ixigo, and all that, where they want to visualize their properties or their hotels on the map for somebody to understand where they are. Are they near to the beach or near to a mountain or near to any transit? Real estate we have spoken about, and FMCG as well. Okay. So another big brand I want to talk about is Tata Motors. They have also, revamped themselves for what they were, I would say, 7-8 years ago to what they are right now. If you see, they are also giving a connected app with every car they've been selling right now. So there are a few business challenges before they actually develop the application. Is one, they wanted to track the vehicle. When they actually launched the EV charging station, there were a lot of fear in the market where people were not buying it because they didn't know where the nearby charging stations are. What if they run out of fuel or the charging or the battery? And yeah, again, there was range anxiety as well. The solution is to build the Google Maps API with the connected vehicle application. So here what they have done is they have actually, with autocomplete API, you can actually select which city you are in or which locality you are in. Based on that, it actually prompts you all the charging stations which are available nearby. And once you click on those charging stations, you can actually navigate from your own current location to the nearby charging stations. Also, what they have done is they have given so to overcome the range anxiety, it actually tells you from your lat long, if you have, let's say, 80% of the battery which is left, which will translate into certain kilometers. It actually tell you if you translate to a 300 kilometers, 360 degree, how far you can travel. A road network that also they have implemented. You can also create a polygon around your house, geofence it, and if you go out, it will give you a notification. That is also done on the Google Maps APIs as well. You can track a vehicle. If you can go on the Tata Motors app and see your last trips, you can actually see where all your car would have traveled or you have traveled. And again, the similar thing where all it can be implemented, or a bit of it where it can be implemented, is routing and logistics. They want to track their vehicle where they are going. Transportation, rides and deliveries, IoT, insurance as well, and real estate. Now we come to our last customer case study, and this is my favorite as well. I am not sure how many of you actually knows about BlueSmart. BlueSmart is a 100% vehicles are on EV, and they are one of the largest on-demand rides and delivery company, growing company in India at this moment. They had a lot of challenges when they wanted to build an application or a system at the back end. They wanted to have real-time ETAs, optimized driver location, re-evaluating driver allocation, complex regions such as complex towns or rural areas, traffic patterns they wanted to understand, and even more accuracy for both batching the rides and deliveries as well, and pulling the rides as well. Now, before we tell you that what solution we have given, so as at initial stage, I told you that Google has Google Maps platform, which has core APIs, vanilla APIs. On top of it, what you can build your solution on. But Google also have a couple of ready-made solutions which are plug-in solution. One of them is on-demand rides and delivery, and it is primarily used for companies like BlueSmart or anything where the rides or the delivery happens on demand. Now, what it has is it has a customer SDK, customer app SDK. So there you don't have to start from scratch. Something is already built. All you have to do is plug in and start building on top of it. Then there is a rider application, rider SDK, which is already built by Google, where it does a lot of things internally. And then there is at the back end, there is a fleet engine as well. So your customer SDK, driver SDK, and fleet engine, all three of them are interconnected, which talks to each of them, tells you where all your assets are, where all your customers are who are trying to book a cab, and where is the nearest driver which you should allocate. That can be done on a single platform. So this is what I was talking about. It actually, from onboarding to a client to a delivery, every onboarding of a client to a completed ride, everything is done on the Google Maps platform. So starting from the address validation and context, which actually lets the customer give you their location and address, then to route optimization, where BlueSmart has multiple fleets in their database. They have to assign which is the nearest cab which is available at the client's location and which has enough battery available. So that is done through Google Maps platform, which is called route optimization. Then driver routing. A driver, when he gets the booking, he can actually navigate from his location to the customer place through an in-app navigation. At the back end, the BlueSmart can actually track where the rider is, how much he has traveled, and they can do the payouts based on the kilometers driver has traveled. And then fleet optimization. That means that if they have 1,000 fleets and they want to optimize the routes for the next day, they can do that as well, because there are also a scheduled delivery. So that is also possible. And because of all of this, what it has led to is that they have improved address accuracy. It gives them, improved order success as well. Better dispatch decisions, increased productivity. And there is, I would say, no anxiety with the users, at least with the BlueSmart right now. So this is it on the customer case studies. I will quickly go through why you should actually, talk to us, why a partner is enabled. So right now, as I said, that Google gives you Google Maps platform. There are two ways to go about it. Either you can plug in your credit card and start utilizing it, or you can go to a partner and enable these services. Now, the difference, you don't pay anything extra if you come to a partner, but what extra do you get with a partner is we give you expert advice, because as I said, that we've been talking to a lot of, leaders in this industry. And because of why we are talking to them every day on daily basis, we get a lot of knowledge out of it, which we can pass it on to you and tell you how to implement these APIs with optimized way. We can create, so there are a lot of solutions we built on the Google Map services. So there are a lot of customized solutions we can custom as per your needs. You also get, so this is a little, exciting part. You also get access to exclusive volumetric pricing discounts. So right now, if you go to Google, you may end up paying more, and coming to a partner, we give you more discounts if you have more volumes. There's a proactive optimization sessions. If you think that your billing is high, or if your APIs are not implemented correctly, we do a quarterly business review with every organization and understand how you have implemented. And if there is any scope of optimizing it, we tell you the ways about it. There'll be a dedicated account manager which will be allotted to you, which will not be in a case of Google if you go to Google Maps directly. There'll be a product map visibility, and because we've been talking to Google regularly, we know what new products are coming in. One of the case was if there is any weather API which has been coming or not. Because we've been talking to them, we know that there is a launch of the weather API in Q3, and we tell you how to go about it. And then billing advice and support. Right now, if you enable the Google Maps API through Google directly, you have to plug in your credit card, which is not possible for many organizations. Here with Lepton, we actually give you the monthly bill after your consumption, and you have to clear it. And there is extended credit period as well, which you have to clear it within 30 days. Yeah, all those benefits you get if you come to a partner. And right now, just for this month, there is a 40% discount, which is only available for the Indian customer. I would really request you, if you have any use cases which are coming in, please get on board right now, because it is valid. If you get on board right now, it is valid for a year, and it is only valid for any customer who onboards within this. So this is me. Any questions? Happy to take it. I think I've spoken a lot. Would love to pick a few questions.
I think we already have some questions. First is from Sunil. Is it possible to fill the address through current mobile location of a third party?
If you have, so Sunil, if you have a lat long of a client, that means a location of a client, you can actually use Google Maps API, which is called geocoding API. It converts the lat long into address and give you the entire strings.
Okay.
And this is what a lot of, so Zomato we had spoken about. Zomato does the same. The moment you drag and drop and you let them capture your lat long, it converts the lat long into address and pre-fill everything onto different fields.
Thank you. The second question is from Mohan. Can we upload customer data on maps to see our product population in an area and compare it with the service centers available?
Yes, Mohan, you can do it. So there are two ways to go about it. As I said, you can enable a dynamic maps API, which gives you the access to visualize the maps, zoom in, zoom out. You can overlay any data you want to, provided you should have a lat long of it. If you don't have, then again you have to convert the addresses into lat long and overlay on the maps. But it is very much possible. If you can build it yourself, great. Otherwise, we can help you do that as well.
Thank you. Next question. Are there any APIs for showcasing space temporary images? The aim is to see the time lapse of a particular location.
Yes, Shrikant, it is possible. As I said, that this is not the functionality of the Google Maps platform, but it is very much possible on the Google Earth Engine. And this is exactly the use case what Google Earth Engine solves. So you can actually do a time lapse of probably, a satellite imagery of last 4 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, compare them, and it actually gives you how the, changes has happened over the past. It is very much possible on the Google Earth Engine.
Thank you. Next question. What is the pricing compared to Google Maps?
So whatever you find on the Google Maps platform, we have the exact pricing. It's just that we give you more discounts so there are more tiers which are added. And we will be sending you more details after the webinar. We will be sending you these details for you to read that what different you get. My only thing is that you get extra coming to a partner, but you get less when you enable your services directly from the Google.
Thank you. Next question. How to update contact details for respective dealership in their respective page? We have tried multiple times, however, it's not getting updated. Could you please suggest?
So here, this functionality is of Google My Business. We can help you doing that. If it is just one-off, please send out an email to us and let us know which location it is. And do give us some screenshots, some pictures around it, so that it becomes easier for Google to validate and update it. But if it is in bulk, we can talk about the solution we've been talking about, which is on the Google My Business, where you can manage all your listing from single platform on a different social media basis.
Thank you. Next question. What coming features for about the interaction between Google Maps and artificial intelligence?
Sorry, say that again.
What coming features for about the interaction between Google Maps and artificial intelligence?
There have been a lot of work which is happening. So in I talked about the Places API that Google has launched, the new Places API. Now they are also trying to give you a feature where you can do a string instead of just asking a sushi place nearby. You can actually say that if you, let's say if you are planning a trip, you can actually give a command saying that please plan a trip for me for the next month. I'm traveling with my dog and I would like to visit places which are near to the beaches. It can actually suggest you a lot of places based on the string which you have given. So it is actually picking up a lot of AI at the back end and giving you result basis that. But it is yet to be launched. We are testing on as a partner. We get early access to these APIs. We are testing on it, and to be honest, it is fantastic. Like we can't wait to go. Generally, we can't go way to get this live as soon as possible.
Thank you. Next question is from Shrikant. While fetching address or flat long, can we get ISO country codes?
ISO country codes, I have to check. You say ISO country codes, can you please elaborate what it is?
Shrikant, if you want us to unmute you, we can do that. You can raise your hand, please.
Understood.
Anyone?
So I don't think it does that, Nancy. I am not sure exactly what ISO codes are, but I know for sure that it doesn't do it. For sure, it gives you a PIN code, but not the ISO codes at this point.
Okay. Any more questions? You can raise your hand.
I think
That's all for the question.
Sunil has raised a question, raised up his hand, or is it my?
Okay, I don't think any questions are left. We have mentioned Manish's contact details on our chat box. Please, you can take it from there. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your participation and excellent questions. I hope you found today's session valuable and informative. Big thanks to Manish for sharing his expertise with us. If you have any further questions or would like more information, please feel free to reach out to us. Have a great day. Thank you so much, all. Thank you.
Guys. Thank you so much.